What is up, you guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart on the speakerphone. Dallas, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yep, and it finally happened. It finally happened. Cannot believe it. Week 13. No, all the teams played in week 13. There was no team on the bye,
Yep.
but our first ever perfect full week with no teams on the bye. Every pick correct. The first ever 16 and 0.
Yep.
It doesn't get more perfect than that, Dallas.
No, it doesn't. I don't know if it'll ever be matched either.
Nah, you can never match a 16 and 0 in game picks. Nothing will ever match that. That's as perfect as it can get. And now, time to bring on the week 14 picks of the 2024 NFL season. First up, Thursday night football. We got the Green Bay Packers going to Detroit to take on the Lions. The Packers killed the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving night while I was running all over New York City. You were watching that game. You were giving me some updates. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions, I watched this game from Yonkers over at my buddy Ernesto's place. The Lions barely squeaked it out 23 to 20 against the Chicago Bears, man. It is just crazy. Bears losing in such heartbreaking fashion again, but the Lions still on top of their division. The Lions' first Thanksgiving win since 2016. I think they killed Philly that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lions still on a roll, and I got them continuing that roll. I think the Packers are going to be in just for a bit of a letdown. I am taking the Detroit Lions to complete the sweep of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, give me the Lions to get to 12-1 and complete the sweep of the Lions. I think this will be a good one, though, and I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay pulled off the upset, but I just don't see it happening. So I'm going to go with Detroit.
Yeah, that's a good Thursday night game. I'll be staying that at my dad's
Yeah,
house.
that's actually a good Thursday night game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really good one. All right, up next we got the Cleveland Browns going to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. A couple Thursdays ago, that crazy game in the snow. Now this time, the game is in Pittsburgh. Browns falling in a crazy shootout with the Denver Broncos. Jameis Winston throwing two costly pick sixes in that game. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers were in a crazy shootout themselves against the Cincinnati Bengals. Russell Wilson had a pretty crazy game, over 400 passing yards, and he was able to squeak it out 44 to 38, I think the final was in
Yeah,
that game.
44-38.
Is that a scoreagami?
No, there's probably been that final before.
Yeah, but Steel this time game in Pittsburgh, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Pittsburgh Steelers to get revenge for 2 weeks ago. Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, give me the Steelers to get some revenge for that Thursday night game if we be back. Man, Jameis Winston just didn't have a very good game last night.
He was looking good with Jerry Judy and the connection, but
Yeah,
the two pick sixes were the backbreakers.
yeah, those were the two breakers.
Yep. All right. Up next, we got the New Orleans Saints going to New York going to MetLife Stadium to take on the Giants. The New Orleans Saints last week battled closely with the Rams, but couldn't finish the deal, and they lost the Swiss Army knife for the year to a torn ACL. Meanwhile, the New York Giants in a battle with the Dallas Cowboys, but they weren't beating Dallas. It was obvious they were going to get swept. This is kind of a toilet bowl,
Yeah,
but the choice is obvious. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints as well. The Giants just look like they nailed it in, and they want that first pick.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the New York Jets going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. You all know I was there back on Sunday. The Jets, monumental, typical Jets fashion collapse against our Seattle Seahawks. Our special teams tried to give them that game, and then the crazy fourth down conversions we had, including the penalties. This game pretty much was every definition to why you can say the New York Jets are cursed.
Yeah, this game pretty much summed up the Jets season.
It did. It pretty much did. And it's the first time where Aaron Rodgers was 75 and 0 when leading by 14 points until that Sunday when leading the game by
Wow.
14 points or more. but I think it was 14 points what it said. 75-0 until that Sunday. That was a crazy game to be at, and man, a lot of near heart attacks. I could not believe we were able to freaking pull a rabbit out the hat and make that comeback. And that all the Giants points, they came in the first half. They did nothing in the second half. Even after we gave them when we went for it on that fourth and goal at the one, and we went backwards, and then freaking Julian Love saved us with the stripping Breece Hall, and then of course Leonard Williams. Give Leonard Williams Defensive Player of the Week for God's sake, man.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins laid an absolute egg against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field on Thanksgiving night. You were watching that game while I was running all over Manhattan. Give me the Miami Dolphins to complete the sweep of the New York Jets. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins as well to complete this. Is this the second time they played each other?
I think it might be. I don't know. Is it? We'll find out. But I got Miami beating the Jets anyway. We all know how bad the Jets are.
Yeah, their frustrating season
We try to give them
continues.
that. We tried to give them that game, and they didn't. It was just a matter.
Yeah,
They didn't want it, man. They're pretty much tanking. Well, they might as well be now. I mean, I don't think. I mean, as long as Aaron Rodgers is playing, though. I mean, great. I was not sleeping on Aaron Rodgers, but man, for real though, the fact that they blew the game the way that they did is that pretty much sums up their season. Sums up that they really are cursed.
yeah,
All right. Up next, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. Titans pulling that big upset. Oh yeah, that was a couple weeks ago that they upset the no wait, that was a couple weeks ago that they upset the freaking Houston Texans, but the Titans this week got absolutely shredded, pistol whipped by the
yeah.
Washington Commanders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hope Trevor Lawrence is all right. That gnarly hit that he took against the Houston Texans, but they still fell to the Houston Texans, and that guy got who hit Trevor Lawrence for Houston? Who
Uh, all the Alziz, I'll share. I
Al
can't pronounce
Shahir.
his last.
Yeah, he got handed a 3-game suspension after that hit.
This definitely is the toilet bowl of Week 14.
Yeah. Oh man, this.
My
My
God,
God.
is Trevor Lawrence gonna be out?
I don't know. I think he might be if it's a concussion. I'm gonna I'm taking the Titans.
Yeah, as bad as the Titans looked last week. I know, but I'm going to take the Titans because I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to play, and I think the Jaguars are kind of in tank mode.
Yeah.
I think they want the number one pick also.
It's between them and the Giants.
I just think the Titans are slightly better, but not by much.
No, no. All right. Up next, you got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Falcons, Kirk Cousins threw 4 interceptions against the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, dude, I mean for the Atlanta Falcons against the Los Angeles Chargers. Falcons, I think you should start looking into benching Kirk Cousins for Michael Penix. Let's be real. After that, y'all
Yeah,
should
they
really
are
start thinking
free
about
fall. They are free falling right now.
play the kid. Just play the kid now and see what you got with Penix. That's pretty much what it
Yeah,
is now at the Falcons. You got to play Michael Penix at this point now. Meanwhile,
yeah,
the Minnesota Vikings squeaking out a 1-point win over the Arizona Cardinals at home in Minnesota. And now we get the Cardinals this week too. But the Vikings and Falcons, yeah, I'm taking the Vikings to keep it rolling. Give me the Vikings.
yeah. Give me the Vikings to keep it rolling. The Vikings, they haven't looked impressive, but they're finding ways to win. A lot like Kansas City, and I just think the Falcons are really. I think the Seahawks might have broken them. They just have not been the same since that game.
Yeah, where
They've
Derek
lost like
Hall.
three in a row, and I think 4 out of
Yeah,
6.
you talk about when Derek Hall had the scoop and score. Yeah, that
Yeah,
might have broke the Falcons. You were right. All right, up next we got the Carolina Panthers going to Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Panthers, for as bad as they've been this season, and granted with their 3 wins, they've been hanging in there with their competition. I mean, they gave
they've
Kansas
looked a
City a
lot
run, they gave
better.
they gave Tampa Bay a run. One of
They've
which
looked a lot better after the first 2 weeks of the season.
and Bryce Young's playing some good football. I mean, playing good football. Granted, it hasn't been enough to really win any games, but they've been hanging in their competition. Philadelphia Eagles shot in the dark paid off against them in Baltimore. Justin Tucker missing 3 field goals for Baltimore, and Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts just
Or
clicking
was
on
it
all
two?
cylinders.
Or was it two and I think it was two and an extra point.
Yeah, just man, but man, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're just rolling. And for as close I give Panthers for the credit that I give the Panthers for handing over the competition, I think this is one where they give up a lot more points and not able to hang on this one. I think Saquon's going to have a big game. I think Jalen Hurts going to have a big game. I think the Eagles are just going to roll all over them. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles lock of the week.
Yeah, give me the Eagles to keep it rolling.
Lock of the week.
Yeah, lock of the week. I just don't think Carolina is going to be able to hang in there. The Eagles have too much on offense.
Yeah, way too much. I think Saquon's gonna run all over him, just like he did against the Rams. All right, up next we got the Las Vegas Raiders going to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Raiders tight battle with the Kansas City Chiefs.
They
Almost, man,
really
almost.
screwed it up at the end.
Yeah, 19 to 17, the final in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers barely squeaking it out against the Carolina Panthers to complete the sweep. And whoo, man, this is Super Bowl 37 rematch, and
A Super Bowl, yeah, from 22 years ago now.
yeah, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to absolutely steamroll the Raiders. Give me the Bucks.
Yeah, give me the Bucks to keep it rolling. The Raiders, I think, are going to be devastated after that gut wrenching loss to Kansas City last week.
Yep. I agree with you
I
on
mean,
that one.
they had them. They screwed it up at the end. I think they probably should have kicked it on third down instead of calling a timeout. And then Aiden O'Connell wasn't ready for the snap, and that cost him the game.
Because I saw parts of the game when I was over at a Martinez cigar shop for a bunch of hand rolled cigars and whatnot too. I saw part they had the game on the TV there, so I saw a little bit of it, not the whole thing. All right. Up
Yeah.
next, we got our game. We got the Seattle Seahawks going to Arizona to go down to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I will be going to that game. I leave Friday morning with my dad. Me and my dad are going once again to Arizona for that week. It's gonna be great to get in the sun. Back-to-back road games, man. I've been going all over the place. But like I mentioned earlier before, Seahawks, we try to give them that game with special
Yep.
teams. They waived Laviska Shenault, thank God. I mean, he hasn't really done anything. I mean, I know he took that one kickoff back in the game we lost San Francisco, but he's fumbled a lot. And then freaking D. Williams had a fumble. It's like, I thought for sure I want Kenny McIntosh returning kickoffs from here on out the rest of the season. But I'll tell you what, Leonard Williams has been playing out of his mind lately for us on defense for sure. That pick six came to the end zone I was in.
That was the game changer right there.
The pick six, yeah.
That
Leonard
saved the game for
And
us.
then AJ Barner get his second touchdown of his NFL career, and then freaking all the crazy penalties on that one crazy drive, and then that third and one where Zach Charbonnet ran it in for the touchdown, if and then obviously give it up the third and 26 to let they make it fourth and two where they were able to keep the drive alive, and then Leonard Williams being able to get the big sack, and we were able to close it out on defense with that fourth down. Crazy game, that 26 to 21 win. Arizona barely just falling just 1 point short of the Minnesota Vikings and Kyler Murray. How many interceptions did Kyler Murray throw? I think Murray threw like 2 interceptions that game.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, they let that one slip away.
Big time let it slip away, you know? And I'm going to say this, man. I liked the 2 weeks ago. I liked the way Leonard Williams was getting after Midget Murray. I liked the way he was getting after Kyler Murray. We were able to, I mean, we sacked Murray like 5 times. I mean, granted, they got some sacks themselves too, but if we could just have another big game like that, I feel like Leonard Williams is going to eat Murray alive because these last couple of weeks, Leonard Williams, Brendan Nelson said it perfectly. Leonard Williams has been playing a lot like Aaron Donald,
Yeah,
a lot like a prime Aaron Donald. Not saying he is Aaron Donald, but he's playing a little bit like it. He's been playing out of his mind. Give him Defensive Player of the Week for last week, but you know something? I feel it, man. You know, if we can just get after it, we could shut down James Conner again, shut down the running game the way that we were able to shut down the running game a couple weeks back and shut down CMC and shut down James Conner again, and then limit Marvin Harrison Jr. again, like we did last time. Just be able to shut down Trey McBride because he's killing us last week. I think we got a good chance of it. I'm gonna go ahead. Knock on wood, though, you know, I feel like we can go into it and do it, but I'm going to take the Seahawks to pull out the broom down in Arizona again. Give me the Seahawks to go down there and pull the broom on Arizona, complete the sweep.
yeah. Give me the Seahawks as well to complete the sweep. This is going to be a tough one because I think Arizona is definitely the more desperate team. They can't afford to lose this game if they want to win the division. But I think we're going to prevail.
If Leonard Williams has another monster game like he did against a couple weeks ago,
We
and
just got to cut out the special teams mistakes.
yeah, just let the ball go in the end zone and just take it at the 30. Let's not do that again. I want Kenny McIntosh returning kickoffs from here on out, though, for real. I mean, I remember when Tyler
Yeah.
Lockett used to do it, but can't chance him getting injured. But for real, though, But yeah, I think we can go out there and I can't I hope we pull the broom out on them again, because the last few years I've gone down, we've won the last few times. Not saying it's going to happen again, but hope we can get it. But I feel like we can get them again. That would
Yeah,
be if we beat the Cardinals down in Arizona this week, that would be seven straight, seven in a row, dating back to Russell's last game as our quarterback.
yeah,
Let's hope it can happen. Up next, we got the Chicago Bears going to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Chicago Bears, another tough loss again ever since the Hail Mary against the Commanders and freaking
yeah,
blowing it to the Detroit Lions again. Granted, they never had a lead against the Lions. The Lions just were rolling them, and I can't believe the Lions let them hang around in that game. Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers got absolutely pistol whipped and annihilated in the snow against the Buffalo Bills. Christian McCaffrey just placed on injury reserve, out for 6 weeks. Let's just be real. Christian McCaffrey's out for the year. The Niners Super Bowl window, ever since we beat them a few weeks back, we we closed their Super Bowl window. We closed their Super
yeah,
Bowl window. We officially closed their Super Bowl window. And the Bills lived up to that lock of the week last week. They lived up to the
yeah. The
lock.
elements, they could not play in the elements.
No, they cannot play in snow. They cannot play in snow. But the Bills lived up to the lock of the week. They definitely lived up to it. Niners just riddled with all sorts of injuries and
It's like 2020 all over again for them.
it really is. It is. But with Chicago struggle, we know Purdy's still playing and they still got a chance at Purdy though. But I'm gonna go ahead though, and I think the 49ers pull one off against the Bears. I'm gonna take the 49ers this week though.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 49ers to stop the bleeding a little bit for a week, and continue Chicago's downfall. Chicago's just in turmoil right now, and that last game against the Lions cost Eberflus his job, and yeah, the Chicago's just a mess right now.
Big time. All right, up next we got the Buffalo Bills going to SoFi Stadium to take on the Rams. Like I mentioned before, Bills kicked the crap out of the Niners and the Rams squeaking it out against the New Orleans Saints. Let them hand around. Bigger challenge this time around for the Rams. I like the way Buffalo's rolling, and you know what? Give me the Buffalo Bills to knock the Rams below 500. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to just roll them.
Yeah, give me Buffalo as well. To complete the sweep of the NFC West. God, they already wrapped up the AFC East already, and they look like a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
That is the truth, man. Ain't nothing but the truth there. All right, up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers picking off Kirk Cousins 4 times in Atlanta, getting that win over the Falcons. Chiefs barely squeaking it out against the Las Vegas Raiders, and all the Chiefs wins. They've been a lot of them, most of them has been close. They're a very suspect team.
Yeah,
I'm doubting it. I'm doubting them. I'm starting to doubt the Chiefs now if they can go with if they can get the 3-peat. But tough battle against the Chargers. If they're playing down to their rivals, it's just crazy right now. I mean, this isn't the same Kansas City Chiefs teams that we're used to seeing.
no, they've been playing with fire all year.
They really have. They've been playing with fire. They just haven't been that close to gas. They've been finding ways to win though, but they're playing a little dangerously, and it's suspect. And teams are hanging around with them. It's crazy to think about that. And the Chargers, man, Jim Harbaugh, man, he's got them winning. They got the Chargers fighting for a playoff spot. The AFC West isn't even a complete wrap yet. It's not.
No,
You know what? This may be a shot in the dark, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. I'm gonna take the Los Angeles Chargers to hand Kansas City their second loss of the year. I'm gonna go with it. Fuck it. I'm going with it. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
you know what? I guess you know what. So am I. I just the Chiefs can't be continuing to play like this and getting away with it. They're going up against a lot better of a team than Carolina and Las Vegas, and if they continue to play like this, they'll be one and done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark. I think the Chargers go into Arrowhead and pull it off and get the split.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Monday night game. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going to Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Bengals got tough shootout battle. Granted, they had a pick six earlier in the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a tough loss. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys with Cooper Rush. The Dak Prescott-less Dallas Cowboys were able to squeak out another Thanksgiving win at home against the New York Giants. And whoo, man, I might turn on the ESPN Plus to check out the way that they're going to do this game, taking the game to Springfield with the Simpsons animation. I might
Is
want to
that what they're
watch
doing?
it.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, I might want to look at a little bit on that while I have the actual game on the
Oh,
TV.
for
I'll be back from Arizona by then. I'll be back from Arizona because I
uh,
got an early morning flight when I come home on Monday, the day after the game. I got a super early morning flight, so I definitely want to check that out. I already got the suitcase on the ground because it's going to be a smaller suitcase because it's just the weekend down there. But whew, you know what? But Cincinnati Bengals, it was a tough way that they lost. It seemed like the Pittsburgh Steelers just pretty much nailed in the coffin on the Bengals playoff hopes, though. But the Bengals are definitely better than the Cowboys, though. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Cincinnati Bengals to go to Jerry World and just roll the Cowboys. I'm taking the Bengals.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals as well. Yeah, they're. I still think they're better than the Cowboys, even though they have a worse record. They've let like 3 or 4 games slip away. And God, can we get the Cowboys off of prime time? My God.
I feel you on that, man.
Nobody wants to watch them in prime time.
Yeah, no one does.
Maybe they'll stink up with the joint again like they did against Houston.
Yeah, pretty. I agree.
I hope their week 16 game, the Sunday night game against Tampa gets flexed
Yep,
because that would be 6 primetime games this year.
I agree.
Way too many.
Too much for sure. All right, and there you have it. After many years of doing this, we finally had our first ever 16-0, like I mentioned earlier. It's beautiful. This one stays forever. All right, but for week 14, we got Lions over Packers, Steelers over Browns, Saints over Giants, Dolphins over Jets, Titans over Jaguars, Vikings over Falcons, Eagles over Panthers, Buccaneers over Raiders, Seahawks over Cardinals, 49ers over Bears, Bills over Rams, Chargers over Chiefs, and Bengals over Cowboys. And those are our picks. Drop your picks down below in the comments, and let's see how we do this week. But nothing's going to top what we did in week 13. And the best part about that was it was the Thanksgiving week that we did it on.
Yep.
All right. Catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. As always, go Seahawks.